that back door. Do something about that back door. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Someone asked me earlier in the week if I was going to be glad when the season's over, and the answer was no. This team has worked so hard, and it's such a joy to be around, even through difficult times. These seniors, some I've known for a long time now, right? Recruited Gabe Reed before he went on his mission, came back and then did five years with us. Tucker Fisk played with his dad, to be with him this whole time, to watch Dalen Wade Perry grow, to watch Thomas Booker become the special young man that he is, both on and off the football field. For Isaiah Sanders, for what he brought to this football team over the last 2 years. It's a special group of guys. It really is. So sad to see those guys go. So many more I could name. I'm not going to go through the whole roster. But really sad to see those guys go. And wish I could have given them a better senior year. But difficulties find us. It's not what happens to us, but how we respond. And this program will respond. I said in the press conference on Tuesday, I'll just say it again. Take your shots now. I have no problem. Take your shots now. Love the guys we have coming back. Love some of the groundwork that we laid. But our standards in this program are extremely high. Extremely high. A lot of excuses, a lot of reasons why we didn't play the way we wanted to play. Excuses don't matter. They don't matter. Got some great players, got some great young people coming in. Have a top 15 class right now in this year's recruiting class, and we're not done yet. Going to add those guys to the guys coming back. And I'm not going to say we're rebuilding anything. We're going to play better. A lot of things we have to do, a lot of discussions we have to have, some difficult discussions. But like I said, the standard that we set here is extremely high. Going to take a little break, going to jump into recruiting, and then the work starts. We have a special group coming back, and we're going to find a way to have a special season. Questions?
I think the passing game was held to less than 50 yards through 3 quarters. Did you see anything in particular that Notre Dame was doing, or that you guys were stopping yourselves, that you couldn't get the downfield passing game going?
Yeah, we dropped 3 balls. We dropped 3 balls and missed two throws in the first half. It's the bottom line. They got us to third down, third and medium, played man-to-man cover 1. We made some throws that were good, and we missed some balls. Had Elijah one-on-one down the sideline. We've seen all the plays that he's made. Couldn't quite bring it in. I still say Michael Wilson's one of the best route runners in America. He dropped 2. We had a couple other opportunities where guys were open, and we missed the throws. So it wasn't Notre Dame. It was us. Now, the pass rush was real, right? We got it out on time. We had a chance, and we held it. Because there are a couple plays that had some good coverage, and Tanner had to pull the ball down. And these guys are good. Guys are good. So, the sack fumble was avoidable. We should be much better technique-wise there. But second half, settled in a little bit, got some protection, made some nice runs, hit some nice throws. Still didn't see what the touchdown was called back for. Still didn't see that. But we gave ourselves opportunities in the second half that were not there in the first half. But the story of the season, not going to avoid it, not going to escape it, and it's my responsibility. Our season was uneven. And I'll say it again for this game, and I've said it for the last month. You take the top 10 plays of every game and look at them, and you say, we're a really good football team. Too many mistakes, too many errors. That's going to be our focus going into next year. I'll hear you either way. That's a great question. I'll have a better answer for you in a month. And I'm not going to say the injuries don't play into it, right? I mean, Michael Wilson has missed time since before training camp, right? Came back and played really well for us, but was a little disjointed. Tanner McKee missed some time, came out, came back in. There were a bunch of guys going in and out. The hard part for me is when we execute. And I say this kind of jokingly. It's too bad you guys don't come to practice, but I don't want you to practice. But if you were able to come to practice, you'll see us go out there and execute. Like a lot of plays we didn't execute tonight, we executed extremely well. So for me, that's a lot of our intention now is to translate that to game day. Got a lot of guys coming back, and I'm asking for a higher level of maturity. You know, things that we do well all week, we should come on game day and do well. Right? Game day is the reward. You know, game day is the day where you get a chance to shine and do it full speed. We practiced well. This group practiced well the entire year. And we came out and didn't always do the things that we practiced well. So some things coaching-wise, which I won't go into detail, that we need to look at. Look at a lot of personnel things in all three phases, you know, with the guys coming back. Make sure that we can go out there and execute like we're capable of. Because that's the game. You know, that's the game. It's a game of execution and playmaking. If you can handle those two, you win. If you don't, it's going to be tough to win. Take a look at the last 2 weeks. Lopsided scores. No question about it. Second play of the game should have been a touchdown pass against Cal. 2 out of the next 3 drives got inside the 5-yard line before they scored. Got a chance to be 21-0. So that's groundwork, but that's not finishing. Right? That's going out there and playing, but not playing well enough. That's going out there making plays, but not making the plays that we need to make. Oregon State, Washington, game's over, right? We score late, game's over. Washington got a defensive stand, got the ball back, game should be over, right? So multiple games this year, we started fast but didn't get in the end zone. Multiple games this year, we had a chance to seal it at the end and didn't. So the record, we earned that record. But when you really watch the games and watch them close, the distance between where we are, where we want to be, is not great. It's not a big difference. Looks like it on the scoreboard, absolutely. But really good football teams, which you know, I'm not going to forget either. We had about the toughest schedule in America. You got to play well at the beginning and at the end. You got to start fast. You got to finish faster. What you do in the middle, hey, you're playing tennis in the middle. But you got to finish games. And we didn't finish games. And those games that we didn't start well, we played well at the end, but not well enough to catch up to make up for what we did at the beginning. So, like I said, uneven, disjointed, very uncharacteristic of this program over the last decade plus. For about a decade, we were top 5 in one-score games, winning one-score games. So I got to look at a lot of different things. There's some things here that we've done extremely well in the past that we need to do better. There's some things we got to tweak and change. So we're not going to be stagnant, and we're not going to rest on the things we did in the past. We're going to get back to work, continue this recruiting process, which has gone extremely well, recruiting the right guys to the right place, and got to get to the point where we take out the bumps in our road. And a lot of them are self-inflicted, and not blaming anybody else. A lot of those are self-inflicted. But this group coming back could be really, really good.
Oh, nice. It's working this time. Could you talk about, quick question on E.J. Smith. Noticed he didn't come back in the game. Just any update on him? Was he hurt? What happened there?
Yeah, he just got tackled low. EJ's season has kind of mirrored our season. Started slow, came in, made some big plays. Every time he was right about to kind of get in there and get a lot more, he got hurt, right? Put on a show at the end of the Vanderbilt game. Excited about getting some more plays, scores a touchdown, then he misses the next couple weeks. Comes back, had a couple of really nice carries, finished the Utah game well, got hurt, missed the next game and a half. So it's just been tough. Went into it, he felt completely good, he felt healthy, made it a point to get him some more touches, and he was doing great, averaging 5 yards a carry, making guys miss, being physical, and then got hurt there and had to come out. Don't believe it's a long-term thing, but we do believe he's got a chance to be special, and really wanted to see him get more today, but it got cut short.
Coach, your defense performed very well on third downs, and the run defense held up for a while. Just what was your overall impression of the defense, given that despite that, you still have 45 points and 500 yards at the end of the game?
Yeah, and we did something that you don't typically do, which is kind of tweak your base defense in the middle of the season, but we had to. Did a much better job against the run tonight. Really did. And that was a point of emphasis. Kyron's a really good back. He's a really good back, and to hold him to 3.9 yards a carry was impressive. Made some tackles in the pass game. You know, it's been a bugaboo for us the entire year. Play well, you know, they miss a tackle and they get a couple of big plays. But, you know, emphasis was to slow down the running game. Did that well. Decent pressure on the quarterback, but yeah, did not defend the pass as well as we needed to.
Any other questions for Coach? Ben?
Yeah, just one last one from me. I just want to get your thoughts on Jonathan McGill. How nice it is to have him back. Second straight week, second straight pick. Just how great is it to have him back and build some momentum for next year?
We missed him so much. He was the MVP of our spring football. He was borderline dominant. He was everywhere. It was awesome. Came back, and he would admit to, he's a little rusty. Missed a lot of time, missed training camp. Was out there, was healthy, and was in shape. But there's in shape, and then there's like in the season, right? So in 2 games, he had a couple of rough downs. A couple things he's a little disjointed on, but he gives this team a spark. His leadership is top-notch. His playmaking ability is the reason why they call him the Honey Badger, right? He finds the ball, interceptions, pulling the ball out. Made some big-time open field tackles both last week and this week. Like I said, a little rusty, missed a couple also, but we're a better defense when he's on the field for us, and I'm excited about getting to play 12 with him next year. Great. Thank you all.
Next, we'll have tight end Benjamin Durant. We'll go straight to questions for Ben. 49-yard touchdown for a loss tonight. Only Pac-12 tight end with 2 40-plus yard touchdowns this season. Start with Ben.
Hey, Ben, could you just talk about your performance tonight, how good it felt to get that 49-yard touchdown? And also, did you feel the offense was flowing a little bit better tonight? And just, yeah, talk about that.
I would say more of a relief. I mean, we knew how many opportunities we had to score, and obviously I felt like we did some things better as an offense, but we still have so much room to grow.
Thanks. It's obviously been, this kind of finishes off a rough stretch for you guys, especially this last month, the last 4 games. Just as one of the guys coming back, what do you need to see in the offseason? What do you guys need to do better to make sure this doesn't happen next year?
Yeah, I mean, just a lot of work. It gets simple. I mean, this offseason, I know me and leaders, we got to step up and truly point this team in a direction where we can win. We knew we've gone away from some things, and we got to get back to the Stanford tradition. So winning's not okay, losing's not okay with me, and I know some of the other guys, so we're going to make sure this doesn't happen again.
Sorry, just to follow up with that. I mean, you guys were, at one point, you just coming off that win against Oregon. Did you notice anything different the second half of the season? Because you guys were doing really well up until that point, and then it kind of fell off after that.
Yeah, I don't know if I put on anything. Obviously, we can make excuses as injuries and other things, but I won't make an excuse for us. We had to be better. We fell off, and yeah, can't make that happen again.
Can you break down that one-handed catch?
I mean, I knew Tanner was going to be looking for me. We've been trying to get that connection all day, and yeah, saw it at the last second, threw my left hand out there, and yeah, me and Tanner have had great connections, and just trying to build that off.
What's been the message from the coaches to you guys, and how do you feel that's being received going into this offseason, what the motivation is going from here?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's been a lot from the coaching staff, but put it simply, we got to get back to Stanford football, and that's going to be this offseason. It's just going to be working, and yeah, getting back to our foundation of football.
You're going to be a junior next year, so you're kind of one of the upperclassmen. Just how excited are you to kind of shoulder more of a leadership role and be an upperclassman on this team and help kind of shape, the future of this program from that standpoint?
Yeah, super excited about stepping up and being a leader. I don't think any class determines you as a leader, whether you're freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. We just got to have guys that step up and have the same goal of winning next year. So that's all I have.
Any other questions for Ben? All right, thanks, Ben.
Appreciate it, guys.
We'll finish up with senior defensive end Thomas Booker. We'll go straight to questions for Thomas. So you're on Jackie?
Thomas, just what were the emotions of senior night like for you today?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, what were the emotions of senior night like for you today before the game?
Yeah, it was crazy. I think you kind of see the culmination of all the time that you spent at the university. Not only as an athlete, but as a student, as a teammate, as a friend, as a brother, and just being able to kind of see those bonds put up on the screen. All my guys in my class, it's crazy. You hear the statement, "The days are long, but the years are short." And I definitely think that that's an accurate statement in regards to my time here. It seems like just yesterday that I was a freshman, so it's crazy to see how the time flies, but I'm just so, proud and happy to have had the experience.
Let's go to the front here.
Just how would you kind of put into words your senior, this season? I know it probably wasn't, it didn't end the way you wanted it to end, but just how would you kind of encapsulate everything that happened to you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I just say it was kind of like an emotional roller coaster a little bit, but the wonderful thing about it is that everybody was so resilient and perseverant through all of it, I think obviously we didn't have all the results that we wanted to, but the thing that was a constant every single week is that guys were coming into work. Guys were always trying to get better. Guys were trying to look at the film, and obviously it hurt to look at some of the losses, but we're trying to take positives from it and move forward, right, and use constructive criticism. So, for me, it taught me a lesson in perseverance and resilience, right? I've never, been a part of a season like this in terms of, our wins and losses, but the guys that I was with, I would I wouldn't rather be with any group of guys. You know, this is a group that I think is special, and I'm excited to see what the team does in the future.
You're moving on to the next phase of your life here, future NFL, also kind of being now an alumnus of Stanford University once you graduate, all that. Just talk about kind of, in a way, kind of any thoughts on kind of carrying the Stanford mantle into the next chapter of your life and kind of being an alumnus and staying connected to the school in that way, just how kind of eager you are to stay connected and grounded here even after you leave.
I'm so eager to do that. I'm glad you asked that question. It's such an honor to come from a prestigious institution like this, partly because of how prestigious it is, the academics, the athletics, and all that. But more than that, the people that you've met and the relationships that you've built, whether it be with coaching staff, whether it be with my teammates, whether it be with anybody else, I've just been so fortunate to have so many special relationships that are genuine, caring relationships with people that, I see on a daily basis. So, that kind of just encourages me and promotes me coming back here and having, as much time spent, connections, maintained and kept up as possible. I'm extremely proud to be potentially, a Stanford alumnus and somebody that will come back to school, pretty frequently.
Especially on that D-line, you guys had a veteran group this year. As this program tries to bounce back, what do you feel about the teammates that are going to be taking over for you guys next season?
I think there's a lot of promising young guys. Tobin Phillips is going to have to bear the, that weight of being the oldest guy in the room now, and I think that he's got it. I think Anthony Franklin, Aaron Armitage is going to be really, really good. I think for them, development, getting comfortable, getting confident is going to be key. But I have faith in those guys. I've seen it this year with them being freshmen, the amount of poise that they have, getting thrown in the fire in games and still performing. I'm really excited to see what they do in their future and their development, because I think that those are some pretty special players, and you guys will probably see that in the next 3 years.
I asked Dalen Wade Perry the same question earlier in the week. Curious to get your thoughts on this. If there's any advice you could give incoming freshman Stanford athletes, kind of given your experience, what's some advice you might give someone that's going to be coming to the farm next fall as an athlete for the first time as a freshman?
Shoot, there's a lot of advice that I would give. I think the first one would be like figuring out your time management skills. That'll help literally everything, right? You'll perform better in your athletics when you're not thinking about all the schoolwork you've got to do. But I think the other big thing is just, understand that, like, you're going to fail at things, and that's kind of part of life. That's part of growing. And be comfortable with failure, and, obviously not too comfortable that you're doing it all the time. But, naturally, if you're a Stanford student athlete, you haven't failed too many times in your life before you came here, right? So it can be uncomfortable. It can be upsetting to have that happen to you at the next level. But what kind of differentiates the good versus the great are the people that can take the failures and take constructive criticism from it and grow, versus the people that get kind of stuck in the mud with it. So yeah, that would be my probably biggest piece of advice, is be comfortable with failure, with discomfort, and things not going your way. Because when you move from level to level, that's naturally going to happen as you become acclimated. That's what I would say.
Anything else for Thomas? All right, thank you, Thomas.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys.